What's up, O'Brien Army? So we're back at the Southern California Railway Museum. We were here before. I did a full hour-long special over here. What was that?
You know those vehicles, they have to stop at every railroad crossing to honk the horn.
Ah. Hey, look, Craig. I'm gonna do something retarded. Unless those trains are active, I'm just gonna stand on the track real quick. I hope those trains aren't active. Wait, where'd the office go? Oh, I think that's the office. Yeah, but that's where you apply for the tour. Oh, there goes that train. Pennicet Station. It's just the same as it used to be. Hey, Laurel. I found Pennicet Station. This is where we went last time. What? We went inside Pennicet Station last time, but last time there weren't any trains over here. It's very weird to have all these trains here. You ready to do our little SWAT raid?
Yeah, I'll put you in it.
They're probably gonna think they're getting robbed if we do that. Just burst in there on your face now. They didn't have these trains here last time.
You are correct.
I'm guessing we're gonna get to ride one now.
I don't know if we do that.
Oh yeah, Orange Empire Railway Museum.
I think this is one of the ones we looked at last time.
Yeah.
Hello there.
We're back.
You're back. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Great. Can we get another tour?
Another tour?
Yeah.
Sure you can. Three of you? Yeah, see you raise around. And you know that's $3 a person, correct? Okay.
Yeah, so what's going on with the trains outside?
They're just switching some trains, so they're they have to bring everything out of the barns to switch everything. So it's kind of nice today because there's a lot out that's normally not out.
Do you do this every Thursday or?
No, it's just
Cool, we just got lucky.
yeah, they're working on some track and doing different things. So
Do you take Apple
we
Pay?
do.
All right, well, this is the
Yes,
gift
we're
shop.
remodeling our gift shop.
Yeah,
It'll be a brand new shop at the end of summer.
yeah, so this is the gift shop from Pennicet Station.
Hi, we have 3 people who would like a tour. Thank you. Bye.
Did you tell him we were here before?
No, that's okay.
He'll probably know.
I don't know what day you were here.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, you might have had a different person. We have several people.
I think I remember the name Terry.
Oh no, yeah, Gary. Gary was here today. Gary.
Oh, Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, I think that was him.
Might be. He's here a lot. Okay, so that'll be 3 tickets. $36, and over here.
I'm sorry?
Over 36, they're $12. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. God, what did I just do? I
36.
gave you the weekend, the ticket for the train rides.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was gonna be one of my other questions, is what happens here on the weekend?
Yeah, we have train rides and trolley rides, but that's only you pay $9. How about that, Governor? Until that-
Oh yeah, I was gonna have a heart attack for a second. I'm like, what? $36? But last time it was only $9.
If you were awake, that's all.
Yeah, I was fixing to say.
On the weekends, the trains, just made a mistake. We all do it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh yeah, we're awake now, that's for sure.
the trains, on the weekend, they run the rides. Okay.
Do you
Want
have-
your seat?
No.
Okay.
Do you have like a printout or anything, a flyer for?
Here's the little map of the place. It's inside there, a couple of those.
I really think Gary's gonna recognize us.
He might, he just might. Yeah.
Because we were here before.
Does this have the weekend prices in it?
No, you have to go on the website. to
Oh,
do
okay.
that. And, let's see, it's $12, and because they're over 8.
Military
Then you
classics.
can ride as often as you like, and as many trains as there are. We have trolleys and trains on the weekend both, so you can ride all of those.
And do they do the whole like informational?
Yes, absolutely. The trolley is the first one, a good one to go on because it takes you on a quick tour of the place and they'll tell you and you can jump off if you see something you want to look at and then jump back on and then ride the big train.
Okay.
Excuse me, one moment, Gary should be right here. Good
My
morning,
friend-
Southern California
My
River.
friend in Pennsylvania would love this place.
Hi, sorry. I'm fine. I've got some people standing right here in the shop. I'm by myself. I'll call you back. I was able to see what books we have here, so I'll call you right back. Thank you. Okay, come on, Gary. At least it's a nice day. At least it's not too hot.
Yeah, last time it was a little chilly.
Yeah, well, we got a nice day today. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of like it cold though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's
real.
what gets to you.
Yeah.
Now, wears you out.
Mm-hmm.
I know. At least we have air conditioning in here, so if you
That is
get warm,
nice.
come back in and take a break. And you know, we have water and sodas and snacks and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
too.
Wow.
Yeah, if you.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah, back there.
Ice cream and waters and sodas.
Do you want to take a look? Did you see what they have to offer?
Yeah, I saw that.
If you need anything, where you go?
Pocket watches.
This is a musical one. It plays. I've been working on the
Very good
railroad.
price for-
I've been working on the railroad. Hey, look, I just noticed an old school phone back there.
Anywhere.
No, we don't mark it up.
That's an old school phone back there.
It is.
I wonder if it still makes calls.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Pennicet Station. We're in Pennicet Station. This is Pennicet Station.
Not bad for state guys to take EBT cards.
I don't know. We have to try it in the machine and see if the machine will take it. I don't know. Certainly give it a try. Does it have a PIN number? If you know the PIN
Yeah,
number,
it does.
if you know the PIN number,
It's on the.
Hey, look, it's Gary.
That's me.
I think we were here before.
Yeah, you look familiar.
Different Joseph.
Yeah. I did that YouTube video and I noticed the emergency vehicles.
Oh, okay.
We should get a better look at those today. As a
Well, they're
little
out there.
add-on
You
for
can-
this video.
Crawl all over them if you want to.
Crawl all over them. Okay.
okay, wait till the light goes green. Okay, now you can try it.
I noticed the trains are active today.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
They're switching things around.
They
Carson
must
said last night.
must be doing something in the front of the building with
All
heat
right,
these
now it's
in.
asking for a request to
Oh, wow.
Holy crap, they got Polar Express coffee mugs in
There
here.
you go. So here, credit or debit?
Yeah, it's not.
Let's try that. Now enter the PIN. I think that should work then. So your PIN's there you go. Sorry,
I have the change.
okay. Sorry, honey.
Colin, do you want a soda?
No.
You know, it would be faster to use that whole thing.
What do we do without that?
It's easier than searching.
Pennicet Station.
There we go. Okay.
We're in Pennicet Station.
Thank you.
Yee, the tour. We went inside some of the trains last time.
You did.
Some of the train cars. One of them had beds in it and stuff.
Have fun.
We still
Thank
do that
you.
one.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, back to the tour mobile, I guess.
So I guess I probably pretty much filled you in last time on our history, huh?
Yep,
We're 65 years old.
65 years
Yeah,
old.
we've been here a long time.
It used to be called the Orange Train Museum.
Orange Empire Railway Museum.
Yeah, but
Changed our name about 3 years ago.
yeah, I can see why, because it doesn't really make any sense to call it Orange Empire as we're in Riverside County.
Right.
This is the Inland Empire. I can see how the name just didn't fit as the Orange Empire. Yeah, anyway, this is our second video of the Southern California Railway Museum. We were here before. Now we've returned. Pacific Electric.
How long ago was it you were here before?
I don't know, a couple months probably.
Yeah, it's been that long, yeah. So not a lot's changed in that time.
Yeah.
If you come back in a year, you'll see some changes.
You don't have to wait for me. I'll catch up.
Ooh. I just noticed that car over there says Riverside. Anyway, we're back for round 2 of the Railway Museum tour. We're gonna try to catch more details on here.
Babe, I'm not where.
All right. Well, the emergency vehicles are close by.
Yeah, they're right out there.
We're gonna gather a couple details on these things, because last time we didn't get to do that. The emergency services for the Railway Museum, it runs on diesel. I always wanted to drive a Crown Victoria. I'm guessing these are like security cars. Anyway, let's head back to the group.
Hey, Colin, let's do this after the tour. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll go.
After the tour's over, you can come back and look at those and take pictures, whatever you'd like.
Anyway, do you think we can go inside one of those cars?
I I don't know if they're locked or not. I'd have to check. The guy that controls them all is only here 2 or 3 days a week. I don't think he's here today. Anyway, these are our streetcars from Los Angeles. As you may recall, they were known as the yellow cars. They were always painted yellow up until the mid-1950s when the taxpayers took over the system and they started painting them green. This one over here is painted green. Take this call just a moment. Yes.
They were always painted green. I believe we went inside one of these. Packs a punch.
I'll come up and pick them up. Okay, she's got some more people that want to join us, so I'm going to go get them.
Okay.
All right.
So feel free to wander while I'm gone.
Yeah. So looks like we got more tourists on their way. I believe we went inside one of these things in the last tour. So basically, the main idea for the second tour here is to try to catch more on camera than we did before. Last time we had an hour-long video. I figured why not do a secondary video?
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm allowed to sit on this. Oh, and I remember what these things are for.
Yeah, what are they for?
So basically, people got hit by these trains a lot back in the day. So they used those little net things on the ends of them so that you wouldn't get dragged under the train. It would just sweep you off your feet. Looks like this little buddy's going into disrepair.
These are the things that were used back in the day.
Back in the day. Back in the day. One of these cars used to be used for funerals.
That's right.
I can't remember exactly which one that was, but I know it was one of them. Oh, it was this one. The funeral car.
I love the stained glass on this one.
Yeah. This looks like a freaking military jet shaft thingy where they keep all their planes. Take this car to Bullock's downtown. I think we're gonna get to go inside one of these today. This is one of those batons they used to use to whack people when they were unruly. Hey, Laurel, come here. There's one of the hats they would wear. And that hole puncher thingy. I'm over here. An engineer's hat. I found one of those wooden batons they used to use to hit people with if they were unruly.
Oh, yeah.
Whack! Off my train. And there's the conductor's hat right there. One of those hole punchers for the tickets. It's all rusted over now. I doubt it'll be Motorman's cap. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but
Looks like a ticket taker, ticket machine or something.
yeah. Talking to Motorman prohibited by law. Ordinance number 14261. Okay, I guess it was illegal to talk to the Motorman back then. Are those birds coming into the shed?
Oh, yeah, they just fly right in.
Oh yeah, there's one up there.
Yeah. They're like, ooh, shade from the sun.
I can actually take pictures while I'm filming.
That's fine.
That's cool.
Yeah.
These are old-fashioned things.
Yeah, from way back when. Oh, the trackless trolley. I hear there's a truck in the back that they put on railroads. Oh yeah, this is the one we saw on the tour that last time with the coffin. I don't think there's a body in there, but whoa. These cars are a little close together for comfort.
Restoration projects going on at all times. Yeah, we don't, this building is, the building behind us is reserved for streetcar. Hi guys. Hello. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we started as a trolley museum. And we were started by 14 young men, most of them teenagers, who just had a love of streetcars. And they started in the mid-50s, they started buying, as they could afford, the old yellow cars from Los Angeles. This is one of the very first cars the group acquired in 1956. This is one of our workhorses. It's out virtually every weekend. And we've restored it at least twice. The design is very typical of the early streetcars. It's real high off the ground. It can be operated from either end. There's no need to turn it around when you get to the end of the line. And one of the features is the walkover seat. You change your seat when you get to the end of the line. I think there's something in that seat. That's why it won't move. The conductor goes through and changes the seat direction so that nobody has to ride facing backwards. This is also called a California style car because it has open ends. You won't find these in Chicago or back east somewhere where it's cold.
Is this an electric?
They are all run on 600 volts of direct current. We have 2 transfer stations on the property to convert AC to DC.
Do they actually take the power off of the wire?
Off the overhead wire, right. During all
Is this related to the red car?
No, only in that it had joint ownership.
The yellow car?
All of these
No, but I
systems,
know it might be
these
related.
systems are either founded or owned by Henry Huntington of Huntington Library fame.
Okay, we know him. Well, these came prior to the red car. Is that what it did?
No, well, yes, this system was founded in 1870s with horse-drawn vehicles. And by approximately 1900, Mr. Huntington owned the biggest percentage of this system. The Southern Pacific Railway owned a minor interest. Huntington wanted all of this. But Huntington also founded the red cars that were talked about. Those are the interurban cars we'll see in the next building. It was the opposite there. Well, no, it wasn't the opposite, but Southern Pacific also owned a chunk of that, and they wanted that. So he worked out a deal in 1910 where he sold his interest in the red cars to Southern Pacific Railway, and he gained 100% ownership of this system. And he and his estate owned the system until 1945, when they sold to the Los Angeles Transit Company. And then in the mid-50s, it all morphed into the Los Angeles Metropolitan Transit District. Taxpayers owned it. So that's the history of those two. So Mr. Huntington, as you may know, was a big contributor to the development of the Los Angeles area, and a huge, very rich tycoon of the 20th century.
He had the Huntington Library, right?
There's a
That
piece
was
of
named
wood
after
down
he
there.
founded His estate, well, he before he died, he started that, and the estate developed it, and he endowed it with enough money to keep it going forever. Of course, Huntington Beach is named after him. Huntington Drive. There's all kinds of Huntington stuff in LA.
Huntington Beach.
Is that piece of wood supposed to be down there?
Yes, that's an emergency brake in case the brakes fail on the car, then it won't roll ahead and bump into something else. This is the next series of cars that were produced in America, also the last series. These were built from 1936 until 1950. When it was time to get a new design, they formed a committee to come up with a design that was titled the President's Conference Committee. That got shortened to PCC. This model car is always known as a PCC. And they built thousands of these from 1936 until 1950. This particular one was built during World War II, one of only 30 streetcars built in America during World War II. The city of Los Angeles was able to demonstrate to the government that was controlling all the material that they needed these so badly that they released enough material to build 30 cars just for Los Angeles, and this is one of them. We can go aboard this if you'd like, get a better feel for it.
Where would these go?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. That vintage signs that you're advertising,
Yep,
huh?
these are all original.
I'll be
This
darned.
is an old enough restoration that those are originals. The newer restorations, we've got reproduced cars.
Back in the 50s, yeah.
I remember this.
And I rode the red car. Nope, I rode the red car.
You want us to get out at this
A
end?
lot of people around that used to ride the red car.
Oh, yeah.
You want us to get out at this end?
He all came into the loop and cut it.
He's gonna tell you.
These were built by two companies, Grill Manufacturing out of Pennsylvania and St. Louis Car out of St. Louis area.
Yeah.
pretty modern.
Yes, this looks like a modern bus, more or less. But our design preceded the bus design. You'll notice it has nice, comfortable padded seats.
Yeah, nice.
The old cars have wooden seats.
Yeah. But this only went one way. It didn't reverse.
It didn't reverse, right? You could buy these with dual-ended controls, but very, very few people did. Yeah. Yeah, in round number, yeah. Seats around 50 people. Yeah.
Built to last, wasn't it?
Yeah, now if it's full and you're having to stand, you got this pipe. In the old design, you had a handle on the back of the seat that somebody's sitting in. That's for the standees. Yeah.
That's what Natalie was, she died on the boat in 19.
One of the huge improvements on here was for the motorman who spends all day driving it. You'll see he's got a nice comfortable padded seat up here also. On the old cars, he stood up his whole shift. There's no seat provided for the operator. So it was a longer day over there. Plus the controls to operate the old ones are much more complicated than these. These are very simple cars to operate.
No air conditioning.
Yeah, don't touch the switches. They get mad if we move the switches.
Oh, yeah.
Don't move the switches.
Okay, we'll get back off and we'll continue explaining these things to you.
I wasn't really going to move the switches. I just wanted to touch one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, this has a change. But you put the change in here, then
I remember what these things are for.
Yep.
If you get hit by them.
Yeah.
What? It's a way of picking you up?
Yeah, normally, as he mentioned in the last tour I took, some people were stupid and got hit by these trains a lot, so they would have these things here to make sure you don't get dragged under if you get hit.
oh, that's a people catcher,
Yeah.
not a cow catcher.
Some of the doses call it a drunk catcher.
That's probably, yeah, or a homeless catcher it could be today.
Nowadays it could be. But that's folded out flat with the cars in service. The PCC car had a different design. You'll see there's a wooden grate on the front of the car. It's on a hinge. So when the car knocks you down, your body trips the hinge. There's a metal basket behind it that's released and drops down to rail level and it scoops you up.
Oh, good job.
So either way, you won't get run over by the streetcar.
The wheels, yeah.
We're going to walk through here now to look at the rarest one in our collection, one of the rarest in all of North America.
The funeral car.
All right.
That's the last hurrah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, there's no body in there. There's definitely no body in the coffin.
No.
I've already asked him that question before.
This was built in 1909 to take the place of basically horse-drawn hearses, and stayed in service for about 10 or 12 years. By the mid-20s, the modern gasoline-powered hearses were coming along, and this was very rapidly put out of business. But for about 10 or 12 years, it was proved so popular they had to build a second one to keep up with the demand. The other one was converted back to a regular streetcar. This one went in long-term storage and eventually was saved by the Pacific Rail Society. It's a rail fan group here in LA. And technically they still own it. It's been here since 1967, and we did restore it. We're the restoration police.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as we know, it's the only example of a funeral car left in America. Yeah. If you want to walk across the platform, you can get a good view of the interior of the car, which is quite plush.
They obviously went past a cemetery at one time or another.
Right. At the time this was in use, there were over 600 miles of track in the LA area. All the major cemeteries had no problem being serviced by this car.
Yeah, these were only the family could sit inside the car.
Up to 30 people in the back. Yep.
All the friends and stuff had to follow on their horses and wagons and stuff. But these cars were only for the families of the deceased and some friends.
Right.
Looks like you got some deterioration here.
Yeah, happens.
You got some help, huh, Gary?
Yeah.
Good for you.
As a child, I lived at Union and Pico.
Okay.
These were, this was it. We didn't have an automobile
All right.
until we went back to New York.
So that was one of the factors that killed the systems, was everybody started buying cars. Every family ended up with 1 or 2 or 3 cars. And that was part of the problem. The biggest problem was that the systems were just flat worn out. Nobody wanted to spend the millions of dollars it would take to bring them back. It was cheaper and more practical to buy buses. So next I'd like to talk about our crane. It was built in 1915. It is all electric. It has its own power pole and its own big electric motor here to run the 5-ton capacity crane. And then you can drive it to the job site from the cab at the other end. It has regular trolley motors down here in the trucks. It was built in 1915, and we acquired it in the late 50s. And when we first came here, we used it quite a bit. It was the only heavy-duty crane we had. And we were putting down a lot of rail and all this stuff to turn this into a rail yard.
And where'd you get the electricity to run it?
Well, initially they had portable generators. Now, of course, we're bringing in electricity from outside to our transfer station, and then the DC power is fed out to the overhead wire.
And what voltage is that?
Pardon?
Do you know what voltage it is?
It's 600 volts.
600 volts,
Yeah.
okay. That's high voltage as far as.
Yeah, that's all we run. We run everything on 6. Now, some of the large red cars and whatnot are 12. We even have an electric locomotive that's 1500 volts max.
Wow.
But we run everything on 6 here.
Okay.
That'll fry you in an instant.
They must have had to rewind some motors.
Next, I'd like to show you our cable car. This is a 1906 San Francisco cable car. Just like the ones they're running up there today. This was a gift from Walter Knott at Knott's Berry Farm. If you recall, in the 60s, if you went to Knott's Berry Farm, you had the option of riding from the parking lot into the main gate on one of these cars. They abandoned that service in the late 60s, and sometime in the mid to late 70s, Mr. Knott gave this one to our museum.
And they have no power.
They had no cable, so they modified the car by putting an electric motor in the front truck, and they used 12-volt car batteries in the back for power.
Because our company went underground in San Francisco to redo the belt system
Oh, okay.
that the cable cars ran off.
Uh-huh.
They ran off of belts, and the guy would hook it onto the belt back in.
It was a belt, not a cable at that point.
Well, no, I
It
don't
was
know.
a cable, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would have been a cable.
Cable, something
Yeah,
more like it.
yeah. Yeah, and those initially were powered by steam, but then they were later were converted to electricity. Yeah, yeah.
That might have been what our company might have been.
Well, I'm sure they required a fair amount of maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
The car behind you, 2601 is the number, is a one-off. Only 2 of those were built in 1930. And by the time the companies decided to order more, the Great Depression was in full swing. Nobody had any money to buy new streetcars. Only 2 were ever built. The other one was destroyed years ago. So we spent 12 years bringing this one back to virtually better
You
than
got the
new.
only one of those.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a question. So,
Just a second. I gotta talk to her. Hi, Nancy.
Yeah, this one I don't know. San Francisco, everything ran in. And yeah, that's how he hooked up to the cable, remember?
Well, we're gonna look at lunch. Oh, lunch is one. That's right. Yeah.
They used to have cable cars everywhere in San Francisco. Now they've only got 1 or 2 left. It doesn't. You know how much it costs?
It's hard big. It's very hard to handle.
We used to hop on
Yeah.
if you could, and then the guy
Okay.
would come around and collect it, of course.
Very good.
That was $5.
so my question.
Hey, yesterday I didn't have any guests at all.
So my question was, I noticed on one of the artifacts over there in that glass case, it said, "Speaking to the motorman was prohibited by law." Does that mean it was illegal to talk to the motorman?
Yeah, I'm sure they had regulations that they didn't want you to bother him because he had to make sure that if somebody got in front of the car, they didn't get run over.
That is true.
Okay, should we move on?
Yes.
Follow me, please.
Are the wires live right now? In the building?
Anybody had a question? What?
Are the wires live right now?
Yeah, we keep them hot at 300 volts to discourage theft. Yeah. Because copper wire, you know, everybody wants to recycle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we keep those at 300, which will definitely discourage you from trying to take it, knock you on your butt.
Knock you on your butt.
Very clever.
Are any of these cars in here haunted?
Not that I know of. Some people think that the funeral car is haunted.
Well, come on, it's a funeral
I've
car.
never seen any ghosts in there, but there may be.
Yeah, come on, it's a funeral car. It was used to carry dead bodies. If every hospital is haunted, then why not every funeral car?
I live in Huntington Beach area. I haven't seen the sun in weeks.
That's one of the advantages of living out here. The disadvantage is in about another month, all we see is sun, and it's like 110 degrees.
I'm not used to all this light.
The next building is going to be down the street, and that's where the car is that somebody mentioned. Susie said.
Susie Leclerc.
Yeah, yeah.
She donated a car.
All right. Well, so if you want to walk to the end and start down the street, I'm going to get the electric cart out and meet you down there.
Okay.
Yeah, the electric cart.
The next building is a long walk.
Okay.
Well, looks like he's going to grab our tour mobile. What is this? I hope these aren't oxygen tanks. Yo, those look like oxygen tanks.
Probably a fire. Fire extinguisher. Well, it's a fire extinguisher.
There's two of them there. Anyway, last time we were here, that's why I know so much about this place, because I've been here before. Last time I was here, I only got an hour-long video. This one's already 45 minutes long. So I'm catching more on camera than I did before. Hey, look, I'm gonna let a little anarchy loose. I'm standing on the track. That would be a death sentence if these tracks were in use. I couldn't do it over there when I first got here because they were using those lines, and I wasn't about to get ran over. Oh look, here he comes now, but I don't think he's gonna have room for all of us.
After this building, we have to start our lunch break.
Oh man. I want to continue the tour.
Grizzly Flats. If anybody wants a ride.
You want to ride? Oh, you rather walk? Wait a minute, it's about a mile and a half. No, I'd rather ride.
Watch your head getting on and off. It's easy to bump your head.
Okay, good. Get up there, Pat. Wait, come on up here, Jim. There's a place here beside Bill. Bill doesn't bite.
Got it. All right, thank you.
All right, ready to roll?
Yeah. This is electric, right?
Is there any drinking fountains around or not?
Pardon?
Is there any drinking fountain around?
The next building has a drinking fountain, but not this one.
here.
Oh, this is barn, this is number 6.
This is barn
Yeah,
six.
this is where Susie Leclerc's car is.
Uh-huh.
That's what she told me. How did she come by that car? How did she get it?
Well, they've been rail fans forever. I'm sure they found out it was for sale.
Bathroom's there too.
Oh, yeah. Looking for work?
Are the bathrooms open?
No, but I can open them for you just a moment.
Well, old men never pass a bathroom, you know that?
Yo. I remember this place. Oh yeah, this is the one that had the truck in it. It's down there, the rail truck. I see they put a bunch of wood in here. Look, there's like a few, there's like a skeleton or two in here. There's like a bunch of skeletons in here. This is basically an old times car, but it runs on rails instead of wheels. I don't know why they did that, but yay, there's lights now. Look at all these ribbons.
Not really. It goes back to about 1992. Now, we repainted the whole building about a year and a half, 2 years ago. That really made it look a lot better. Yeah. It had gotten pretty shabby on the outside. Yeah. This was a used building when we bought it. Yeah. Like everything around here.
In that age, used everything. Used. You know, people throw so much away. Yeah.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Make sure we got every. Are you the last one?
Nope, one more.
Oh, okay.
Who's your provide footboard in this?
Look at that thing. Beautiful. Huh? You got run over?
So these are the oldest items in our museum. So most of this stuff goes back to the late 1800s, early 1900s. And this, of course, is our narrow gauge collection. The gauge, for people who don't know, I don't think there's many here that don't, is the distance between the rails. This is 3 feet. This proved to be the most popular design when railroads were first started in the 1830s. And they built thousands of miles of this in America. You can build it fast and cheap. But it is cheap, it doesn't last as long, it wears out faster, requires more maintenance. You can't carry as heavy loads as you can on what we have now, the standard gauge. The standard gauge is 4 feet 8.5 inches. The other rail is out here somewhere. It's much wider, much heavier weight rail. You can carry bigger loads, faster speeds, more stable, and it lasts a lot better, a lot longer. So by 1920, virtually all of the narrow gauge had been eliminated in America. There's about 600 or 700 miles of it left in all of North America now, and it's all used for tourist trains. Almost all the states, a lot of the states have them. California's got several short lines. Anyway, back to the collection that we have here. There are 2 steam engines in here, that yellow passenger car over there, and 1 or 2 other pieces of rolling stock, plus the cost of this building itself, which was no small piece of change, were all given as a gift to the museum in 1990 by a gentleman named Ward Kimball. Mr. Kimball is pictured over here. This is him as a very young man. He always had a love of trains almost from birth. Here's a picture of him, his wife, and his daughter when he was much, much older, at the point where he gave his 50-year collection to us. So he had only had about 2.5 acres of property in the San Gabriel area, but he did have a short, narrow gauge track, a small car barn, and he used to fire up his steam engines every 6 weeks or so and run up and down that 400 or 500 feet of track. His collection was world famous for people that were into railroading. He bought this little locomotive that's sitting here, looked from Hawaii in 1947, and it looked like this when he bought it. So you can see how much time, effort, and money he put into it. He even changed the smoke box here. You can see how low it sits. This is as it was manufactured by Baldwin Locomotive Works. He raised it up with a spacer and put a different smokestack on it to make it look like an older locomotive. It was built in '07. Yes.
Lucky Ball?
No, this was I don't know who it's named after, but not Lucky. It's been around for a long time. He named this little locomotive Chloe after his daughter. She's pictured in the cab here. Mr. Kimball passed away in 2002 at the age of 89.
I was born in 2002.
Yeah, so you and Mr. Kimball have something in common.
Yeah, my birth year was his death year.
So this was last run in 2006 on his property. It has not run since then. We have tested it and proven that it needs boiler work. So we hope to have this running within 3 years. We have a fundraising campaign going to get the funds necessary to get this operational.
Help Chloe steam again.
Pardon?
Would you run it around here?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it'll stay on the property.
But it's got different tracks.
Well, we've got to lay down some more narrow gauge. The longest stretch of narrow gauge we have is about 400 feet. So we'll put down some more because we got this one and the sister engine around the corner that you'll see in a little bit. Both will be online within the next 5 to 7 years.
Help Chloe steam again. Make donations now.
Right. This one is a wood burner. And it was used to bring sugar cane from the field into the processing plants in Hawaii. They also used them in the pineapple industry over there. They had several of these little engines over there, but by 1950 they were using all trucks. All right, we're going to move on down. From this early era, everything was built of wood. You'll notice all these cars in here, wood is the main ingredient in what they're constructed of. That goes even so far as the axle that's holding all the wheels and everything together. It's a big old wooden beam.
What kind of wood did they use? Oak or?
Well, I think they used a lot of hardwood, but there's a lot of softwood in it too. We're going to talk about Susie's car. Right here, John and Susie LaFrance. It's this gondola car.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in my wife's garden club.
Ah.
Susie Leclerc, yeah. She's in her 80s.
Yeah, yep. Everybody around here's in their age.
Everybody, yeah.
That's one of our biggest problems.
Yeah.
We need some more young people.
I just entered my 20s.
Okay. When I came here 17 years ago, we had 2 employees. Now we have 8. Because we don't have enough volunteers to do that work anymore. So we have to pay people to do it.
Okay, well, that's good. You got somebody that knows what they're doing.
We've assembled a bunch of the hand tools used to build those original railroads when everything was done with manpower.
I recognize this. This is one of those mining cars they used.
Well, yeah, they used it in all different forms of railroading. The construction crews used a lot of these.
Moving up and down the.
Right.
So those two. This one here, that's for straightening the rail? Or bending the rail? Maybe for bending.
That's for bending the rail, yeah. They would heat it, and then you get 4 men, you get up to 4 men with long pipes through there. Bend it, then move it an 1/8 of an inch or so, and then some more. Hard work.
I carried one of those in my pickup.
Now you feed it, now you feed it to a big machine and, then
Well, I have this size, then I have a larger size, then I have turtle flags in my Santa Fe apartment. Used regularly.
my uncle, heard of the Vanguard Olympic Railroad in Maine, was a little regional line. My uncle started at 16 years old as a work crew on the gangs, and worked up, he became general road after the whole railroad. Yeah.
It's all in Maine.
Pardon?
Was it all confined to Maine?
Yes, and it was only about 200 miles long from the Sears Port, which was on the water when ships would come in, and it went clear up into northern Maine. Yeah, that's long gone, like all these little regional lines don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I had a great uncle that worked on the Erie Canal until he got to Buffalo, and then he went goodbye and went to Kansas City for the Union Pacific, and they helped set a record.
This is like a bicycle that ran on tracks.
Now it doesn't sound like a record today.
This is like a bicycle that ran on rails.
Yeah, this is called a velocipede.
What a piece of equipment, huh? You just ride along from one place to the other.
Yeah, well, this was like a bicycle that ran on rails.
On rails, yeah, just to stabilize it.
Our truck is a current project for the guys that volunteer in this building. The photo over there shows the actual truck that existed in 1930.
Oh my goodness.
They went out and found a 1928 Model A truck, and they spent a couple of years modifying it to look exactly like that one. So this isn't a copy of that one that actually existed.
That's a 28 or 29.
It's a 28, yeah. Fully rebuilt engine and everything. It's just about done. They got a few little things to do to it yet. It's operable as it sits, but they don't consider it done at this point.
Identify the model A by
What are the beverages back there?
Bill, can you see the movie?
I think that they're simulating illegal liquors from the 30s.
Illegal. Oh, I remember this. This whole thing was cut open last time. Yeah, see, it's still cut open.
The knuckle coupler is the plant there. Heat like that. Let's move on, guys.
Okay. Let's go.
Order already made from this. Not to cancel it,
Moving right along here.
moving right along.
Wow.
This is our oldest locomotive, 1881, 142 years old.
Wow.
It was about 60 years old when Mr. Kimball bought it. He got it operational and used it on his property for about 15 years. After he got the little one, he kind of retired this one.
That's older than Pat.
We're doing a complete overhaul on this, because it hasn't run in like 65 years. And Mr. Kimball did enough to keep it running, but not really as much as he should have done. He didn't have to conform to the regulations that we do because it was his private engine on his private property, and he wasn't making any commercial use of it. But we're gonna have to conform to the FRA rules, like.
If you didn't do it right, it could blow up or something,
Well,
probably.
that's true.
It's a pressure vessel. Yeah.
But it probably, would leak, that we would fix, but that he would run because he was only running it every 2 or 3 times a year and didn't care if it leaked.
So what's the coal fund? That's the next.
This one is gonna remain a coal burner,
Yeah.
not gonna be converted to run on fuel oil like most of these.
Water's all around it.
Or in the, all around the tank,
All,
yeah?
all around, those tubes run all the way to the park.
They got all their tools laying around on it.
What is that?
That's the thing off the front of the smoke box that's on the front of the engine. I don't know what it's called, but that mounts on the front. Then the number would be mounted here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is kind of an interesting thing because it's so torn apart. When you look into the firebox, you can look all the way through and out the front.
How do you lift anything up? How do you lift up the smoke box? Here's the other end of the tube right here. Oh, you gotta crank it. Oh, the other end of the tube is here. Now, you stand here, you can look right through to the front.
That's what you were telling me when the fire comes up?
Here, stand right in front, you can all the way through to the other side.
Oh, yeah. So that's the boiler right
Yeah,
there.
that's what heats those, inside of those tubes, it heats the water and makes the steam. That's the firehouse. This is where they kept all the money.
We've got a very good display of pressure gauges.
Wow. Pat, you ever seen any of these?
This was the private collection of Paul Harr, who used to be in charge of this building. He passed away a few years ago. I understand he had one or two of these that they claimed was the only one in existence.
So these are worth tens of thousands.
Millions, worth a lot of money. Yep.
They're beautiful.
Yep.
They're pieces of,
Our two passenger cars here are both 1881 also. The unrestored one was given to us by the children from the Martinez family. Their connection to the car is that all 7 of them were born in this end of the car. When this was taken out of service by the Southern Pacific in the mid-20s, they detrucked it and became living quarters for various employees. Martinez was the last one to get it. He was a section foreman. It became part of their home, not the whole house, but the master bedroom was established here. And that's where all 7 of the kids were born. So that's how we got it. When the parents passed away, the kids gave it to us.
kids didn't want to remember them.
Number 5 here is the same vintage, but a nicer car when it was new. And Mr. Kimball bought this in 1937 to start their collection. They restored the exterior, decided not to touch the interior. So as you walk by, you're looking at 140-plus-year-old woodwork and ceiling fabric and so forth. It has 3 beautiful oil lamp chandeliers in it, a small one back here in the smoking section, and 2 large ones down here in the main cabin.
Look, I can see the seats inside by lifting my phone up so high.
Uh-huh.
That's better than the windows in my house. They're 60 feet. I think they're 60 feet.
You guys can see the seats in there if you lift your phone up this high.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next building. It's going to require 2 trips with the cart, I'm afraid, because I can't get all of you on one trip. So we'll load up the thing and then I'll run back and get the rest of you.
We actually have to take our lunch break, so you're going to be minus 3 people.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
What a shame. That last building's actually pretty exciting,
They all are.
but the last building's the most exciting.
Will you let Craig know that we're going to go get our lunches now?
Oh, Craig, we're going to get our lunches. I already ate my lunch.
He's in there, right?
I don't know. I thought he was in there.
I can't go into the men's restroom, so would you mind checking for me?
I'm recording.
Or you can pause it, maybe?
No.
Yeah, this building is
Oh yeah, he's in there.
made up of wood on the property, so it stays a little cooler. All these other tin buildings get pretty warm in the summer. Call up to 9 people.
You up there, Bill?
Everybody out?
What happens if somebody gets locked in there overnight?
Well, the door will open to get out. You just can't get in.
No Santa Fe,
Pardon?
no Santa Fe.
We've got some, I don't think we do have any Santa Fe narrow gauge.
Well, as far as I know, it's very new roads going on.
Did Santa Fe run much narrow gauge? Because that's what this building's dedicated to, is all narrow gauge. That, in fact, our turntable out here is narrow gauge also. No, they're going to stop and eat lunch.
Man, I still thought that last building was the most exciting part of the whole tour.
Sorry. Unless you want to spend the night here.
Spend the night here.
Ask you that. You probably would want to spend the night here.
Nah, man, I gotta go home later. I'm supposed to have work today, but I guess not, because they canceled it. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for this tour. Didn't get to see everything, but we got a decent hour of footage. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, click the bell notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.
Colin?